Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So now I'm going to start the next essential element of a valid contract, that is capacity to contract. So in the last videos I have explained you, particularly under section 10 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. In that section 10 I have explained all agreements are contracts if they are made by the free consent of the parties competent to contract. So competent to contract means every person is not competent. There are some person who are incompetent to enter into contract. So in this video I am going to explain you about the capacity to contract. Who are the persons who cannot enter into contract and who can enter into contract? That's what I am going to explain. So all these videos are on essential elements of valid contract. The last videos I have prepared regarding the meaning of the term contract, essentials of valid contract, offer and acceptance, consideration, free consent. All these videos already have uploaded in the last videos. So my regular viewers, if you have already watched those videos, now you are in a position to understand the contract. So in this video, now I'm going to start capacity to contract. Capacity to contract. Who are eligible to enter into a valid contract? Now first of all, two persons can enter into an agreement. An agreement between two persons, can be enforced in a court of law provided the parties are competent to contract. When both the persons are competent to contract. So an agreement between two persons can be enforced in a court of law if the persons are competent to enter into contract, eligible to enter into contract. Then section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, it says every person is contract. This is the definition given by section 11 regarding who can enter into a valid contract. Which persons can enter into a valid contract. So every person is competent to contract. Remember, I'm stressing on the words of the definition. So give more concentration. Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject. Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject. Means the majority age will differ from country to country. So it will change. So that's why it is given every person is competent to contract who is age of majority according to the law to which he is subject, is of sound mind. Secondly, first one, majority, the age must be, he should be a major. Second, is of sound mind. Who is sound mind, who is unsound mind, I'll explain you. Now you remember the definition. Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject and is of sound mind. And thirdly, who is not disqualified from contracting. Who is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. So this definition says that every person can enter into a contract who is of the age of majority. First one, the person should be a major person. Secondly, the person should be of sound mind. And thirdly, the person should not be disqualified by any law to which he is subject. That means if he is an Indian, so there are some laws which makes a person disqualified from entering into contract. I'll explain you that also. So these three persons, excluding these three persons, that means, including these three persons only are competent. So every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject, is of sound mind and is not disqualified by any law to which he is subject. This is the definition given by section 11. The following persons can be said to be competent to contract. Now one by one. Three conditions are given: majority of age, soundness of mind, and not disqualified by any law. Right? Now one by one we'll study. First of all, majority by age. Major by age. When we can say a person is major by age, I am going to explain you here. So according to section 5 of Indian Majority Act 1875, in India, one act was passed called Indian Majority Act 1875. And this act says who is a major person. This act will decide who is a major person in India. So according to section 5 of the Indian Majority Act 1875, a person who completes 18 years of age is called a major by age. So according to section 5 of the Indian Majority Act 1875, a person who completes 18 years of age is said to be a major by age. He is said to be a person who is major by age. This rule applies to both males and females. We don't have separate rules for males and females. For males and females, same rule will apply. Below 18 years, minor. Above 18 years, 18 and above, major. Now, a person who does not attain the age of majority is called a minor by age. A person who does not attain the age of majority is 18 years. That means he has not crossed 18 years. He is under 18 years. The person is called a minor by age. The person is called minor by age. Such persons are not eligible to enter into contract. Restriction is given. A person who is below 18 years of age cannot enter into an agreement, cannot enter into a contract. Any agreement made with a minor or by a minor or between two minors are completely invalid, void ab initio. So any agreement, any contract made by a minor with another person or another person with minor or between two minors are completely void, invalid contract. The first condition I have explained you, major by age. So the following persons can be said to be competent. First one, competent, major by age. He should cross 18 years of age. Now secondly, persons of unsound mind. So first of all, we decide what do you mean by sound mind. Who is a person who is called a person of sound mind? That means any person who is having a stable mentality. He is in a position to understand the terms and conditions of the agreement at the time of entering into contract. So when a person can be able to form the judgment, when a person can be able to understand the terms and conditions of the agreement, the person is said to be of sound mind. If a person cannot be able to understand the terms and conditions, he is incapable of understanding, he cannot be able to make a formal judgment, effect of that agreement on his life. If he cannot be able to understand it, he is called an unsound person. He is called an unsound person. So here what I have given here, a person is said to be of sound mind. Remember, a person is said to be of sound mind for the purpose of entering into contract if he is capable of understanding the terms of the agreement at the time when he is entering into it, and is capable of forming a rational judgment about the effect of the agreement. This paragraph I have explained you about who is a sound person. When we can call a person is having a sound mind, when he can enter into a contract. So if he is capable of understanding, the terms of the agreement at the time of entering into contract, and also he is capable in forming a rational judgment of the effect of that agreement. Rational judgment of the effect of that agreement. So this person is called sound mind person. So if a person cannot be able to understand, cannot be able to form a rational judgment, he is called an unsound person. An unsound person cannot enter into contract. A person who is not having soundness of mind, a person who is not having a soundness of mind is called an unsound person of unsound mind, or also he is called insane person. Person of unsound mind or insane person means same. These persons again are classified into three categories. That means insane person, a person of unsound mind, can be classified into the following three categories. What are the three categories? First one, idiots. Who is an idiot? An idiot is a person who is having a permanent unstable mind. Permanently unstable mind. That means he has lost his mental balance. A person who has lost his mental balance, he is called idiot. Permanently. So a person who completely lost by mental balance is called idiot. Any agreement made with an idiot or between two idiots becomes void, because he is completely devoid of his understanding. That means no agreement can be made with the person who cannot be able to understand it. So these idiots are those persons who are completely lost the mental balance. He cannot be able to understand the terms and terms of the agreement. So any contract made with an idiot or any contract made between two idiots will be completely void, unenforceable, invalid. That is the first one. Secondly, lunatic. Who is a lunatic? A person who suffers from intermittent intervals of sanity and insanity. A person who suffers from intermittent intervals. That means sometimes sane, sometimes insane. Again, sometimes sane, sometimes insane. He is not always in a sane soundness of mind. Sometimes he is losing his mental ability to understand. So his mind suffers from intermittent intervals of sanity and insanity. That person is called a lunatic. In simple words, we can say, if a person completely lost his mental balance, he is called idiot. If a person loses his mental balance sometimes, not always, sometimes he will lose his mental balance, he is called lunatic. Then why this sometimes he will lose mental balance? Because of stressful life. He is suffering from some stress, or he is having some stressful personal experience. So due to these reasons, sometimes he will lose his soundness of mind. He is called a lunatic. So what is the effect of this contract entered by a lunatic person? If the contract is made during the period when he is of sound mind, then the contract will be valid. If he makes a contract, if a person, lunatic person, has entered into a contract when he is in sound mind, then the contract is valid. If a lunatic has made an agreement when he is in unsound mind, when he is insane, then the agreement will be void. Last one is drunken or intoxicated person. Drunken, a person who is used to drinking. So what will happen when a person drinks? Normally, sometimes a person, if he drinks, then he loses his balance, mental balance. Temporarily a person may lose his mental balance on account of drinking. So what will happen with a person who enter into a contract when he is drunken or when he is intoxicated? The rule is exactly similar to lunatic, because drunken person temporarily he is in an unsound mind. Normally he is of sound mind. Whenever he goes for drinking, whenever he is in a period of drinking, at that time he cannot enter into contract. Remaining time when he is not drunken, when he is of sound mind, he can enter into a valid contract. So three cases will come under unsound mind, persons of unsound mind. So three cases are there: idiots, lunatic and drunken person. So two cases I have explained you regarding when a person can enter into a contract, when a person is competent to enter into a contract. First one is he who attains the age of majority. Second, who is of sound mind. Thirdly, not disqualified by any law to which he is subject. Here in definition we have seen the law has made some persons disqualified from entering into contract. Who are the person? I am going to explain you. Not disqualified by contracting, from contracting. So some persons are disqualified or prohibited. Some people are disqualified or prohibited from entering into agreement during specified period of time. Not always. Law says, Mr. X, you should not enter into a contract during a period of so and so. Up to so and so period, you cannot enter into the contract. Afterwards, you can enter. For a specified period, the law has prohibited a person from entering into contract. In spite of majority of age, in spite of soundness of mind. Even the person is of majority of age and also he is of sound mind, but still the law has prohibited him from entering into a contract for a specific period of time. So example I have taken: insolvents are disqualified from contracting by law of insolvency. Insolvent is a person whose liabilities are more than his assets. When he cannot be able to pay all his liabilities, the person is called insolvent person. So there is an act. In India, we have an act called Insolvency Act. So according to Insolvency Act, a person who is insolvent cannot enter into contract till the period of insolvency. Similarly, convicts, a person who has done the crime. Convicts are prohibited from entering into contract during the period of imprisonment under IPC, Indian Penal Code. Suppose a person is prosecuted, he has become a convict, he has been imprisoned. The law says till the time he is in prison, he cannot enter into a valid contract. During the period of imprisonment, a person cannot enter into a valid contract. So these two examples I have given, one insolvency, one convict, that these persons are disqualified from entering into contract by a specific law. Apart from this, many more cases are there where a separate law will restrict or prohibit a person from entering into valid contract. Next one is disqualification on account of profession or political status or official status. Sometimes due to profession, due to political status or due to official status, a person cannot enter into contract. Simple example of this is doctors and advocates. They are professionals. Doctors and advocates are professionals, are restricted from entering into contract with their patients. A doctor cannot enter into an agreement with their patients regarding the payment of their medical fees. The doctor cannot enter into an agreement with the patient in order to get his medical fees. Similarly, an advocate cannot enter into a contract with their client for the legal fees. Why this restriction is there? Because such agreements cannot be enforced on account of professional ethics. So in medicine, in law, there are some professional ethics to be followed. If you are a professional doctor or lawyer, then you are bound to follow some professional ethics. So these agreements are against the professional ethics. A doctor cannot enter into an agreement with the patients in order to get the medical fees. Similarly, a lawyer cannot enter into a contract with their clients to get the legal fees. That's all. So in this video, I have explained you about the competency of a contract, capacity to contract. Who are the persons who can enter into the contract? So I have explained you according to section 11, all persons, every person is competent to contract if he is of the age of majority, according to the law to which he is subject, is of sound mind, and is not disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. So accordingly, I have explained you all these things. Now this discussion of capacity to contract will be continued in the next video. So in the next video, I am going to explain you about the position of minors. Specific provisions are given under Indian Contract Act regarding minors. That I am going to continue in the next video. So keep watching. Don't leave it after watching this one video. You have to continue in the next video also.